Oh my God, that's so good. Oh, hi, welcome back to the channel and another video in the build series for my 2021 Road Glide Special. Today, I'm gonna be putting some bag guards on my bags. Now, when I looked at the options for this, I looked at what most people look at. The wraparound stuff they have from Harley-Davidson, the knockoffs of those HD products that are available on Amazon. And from what I've been told, the Amazon version of that Harley kit's actually pretty good. Good quality and much cheaper. But I wanted something different because, I don't know, I like to think I'm different. I like to think my bike's different. So I decided to go with a product from Santoro Fabworx in California called Not Yo Dadda's Bag Guards. And that's what we have here we're going to put on today. Well, these are really sweet, really nice quality workmanship. They made these, I think they make them when you order them. So it took me about 4 weeks to get these, but they look amazing, they feel amazing. Comes with 2 guards as well as your supplies here. So you've got a lot of hardware to bolt it on. The Delreen sliders, which I really like, that go on the end. And here's a little bonus tip. For those of you that were researching these like I was, I saw several videos of people installing these on their bikes, and they all had these bright white Santoro Fabworx labels, or you couldn't tell if it was a label or painted on, but it was all right there on your face, right on these. So before I ordered these, because I don't like advertising people's stuff for them and that in-your-face branding. And I checked, and those actually don't come on these. As you can see, they're not here at all. Those are decals that are in the bag. So in case you were wondering, these aren't branded. They're straight gloss black, and they look really nice. Now, there are 2 options to install these that we're going to go through when we switch over to the bike, and I'll show you. But yeah, let's roll the intro and then let's get busy putting these on. This stuff's packaged really well too. I mean, God damn, look at that. This thing's wrapped up like you were back in the day when you were on a 3-day pass to Berlin and you hooked up with Helga at the old Kit Kat Club. Or so I've been told. Okie dokie. So we gave Helga the safe word, and we have our part all unwrapped here. It's nice. Nice and shiny. Yeah, this is really top quality work, man. The welds on this are amazing, and good works by Santoro Fabworx. So let's go over the tools that we're going to need to do this install. We have the stock pieces here. To remove these 2 bolts, you'll need a T45 Torx bit. And then the bolt on the bottom, and I'll show you here in a second, also has a nut on the back. So you need the T45 Torx, and you also need a 9/16 spanner to grab that nut, hold on to that while you loosen it up. Once you get the stock bolts off, you won't need these anymore. So put these up in case you want to use them in the future. We're going to be using the bits that Santoro sent us in the kit. That's these 2 bolts, and to put these on, you will need a 7/32 hex bit. It's on both of these, and then again, you're going to need that 9/16 spanner to hang on to that nut while you tighten everything down. Now you'll notice that these 2 bolts are a bit different than the stock. You have 2 different sizes here too that they sent you. One is longer than the other. I'm going to use the long one up on the top part of the bag guard, and then I'm going to use the shorter one with the nut down on the bottom. The other thing that you will need is a 3/8 hex bit for these bolts that are going to go into the slider pucks. You have 2 different size pucks. I put the short one on the top, the long one on the bottom. And of course, you're going to need some blue Loctite, and then a couple of ratchets to work your bits or whatever you're going to use. Now, there could be one more thing you need depending on how you're going to do the installation. To put this part on, you can either order a part from, actually two parts from Harley-Davidson for the bag rails that will replace what's on the bike that I'm showing you here. It's actually a shorter piece that attaches to the rear of the bike, and then you're going to slide this tubing over that piece. This will make sense here in a bit when we start doing the installation. The other option that you have is to cut the stock support there that's already on the bike, which is what I did. And to do that, I just used a little tubing cutter. I don't have a grinder or anything fancy for that, so this just takes a little bit more work than using a power tool. But the one cool thing about doing that, and this is the part that I cut off when I put the other bag on before I started doing the video here. The cool thing about using this piece, this tool, is that you get a really nice smooth cut. So you don't have to like grind down any burrs or anything that's left behind. And we'll go over how to use this in the installation today because this is the route that I took. I will put the part numbers down in the description of this video below in case you want to order the parts from Harley that you need. But the reason that I'm doing this instead of ordering the parts is because I ordered the parts 2 months ago. They were initially on back order, and now I just got a notice the other day that said they're on extended back order, whatever the hell that means. So I got my money back on those parts, and I just went this route. We're just going to cut it. This little tool, I forgot where I got mine. Had it for a while, but I did see this morning, I went to check, and they do sell this on Amazon. This is the rigid, I believe it's called a tubing cutter on Amazon. It's really easy to use, and it's a lot cheaper than buying a grinder. I think it was around 20 bucks is what they had it listed for. I've had mine for a while, and it comes with 2 cutting wheels. Yeah. Check the description below in the video for an Amazon affiliate link if you want to pick one of those up for yourself. They're kind of handy just to have around the house for little odd jobs. All right, let's get busy putting this thing on. Before we get started here, you want to remove your seat and you want to remove the side cover from your bike so we can get to these bolts and get this thing mounted. Now this is the support for the bags. This is the thing I was telling you about, the part from Harley that you can order, and it's 2 different part numbers. Again, they'll be in the description below, but it's to replace the bag supports, and the piece mounts here just like this, but it ends up here, right? So it doesn't have this connecting piece. It's not all one piece. And the reason you need that is because we're going to take the part that we're going to put on, we're going to slide it over this rail. I'm going to show you how, instead of ordering that part, just to go ahead and make a cut here to cut off this section of this support tubing. Now the place that I'm going to cut it, I put this painter's tape here just so you guys can kind of see where we're cutting, but right where this bend ends and it starts going straight, I'm cutting 1 inch back from that point. So that's a 1 inch painter's tape. And then of course to do that I'm going to use my tubing cutter here. Walking through this, step 1, I'm going to cut the support tubing. Then we're going to remove this part by removing that bolt. Then we're going to remove the bolt up here. We're going to slide the bag guard into place and then reattach it using these 2 bolts there and there. So let's get started. To use the tube cutter, I'm going to open it up. This particular cutter will handle tubes up to 1 inch. You'll see the blade right in there, and what I want to do is put that blade right on the side of that painter's tape to line that up, because that's where I want the cut to be. That's right there, so I can get rid of the painter's tape. Now I'm just going to twist that knob there. That puts tension on the blade. So the idea is get that tight, not over tight, but so that it's engaged with the tubing, and then you just want to twist it. You want to turn it. Like I turn it maybe 2 or 3 times. And you'll feel it kind of loosen up as it cuts into the tube. Now we want to just twist it more, make it tight. And you're going to keep doing this until you cut through the tubing. I'm not going to video this whole process. The other one that I did on the other side to kind of test this all out before I shot the video took me about 4 minutes of just moving that. Obviously, a grinder is going to be a lot faster. You can probably use a hacksaw or whatever, but this to me is a pretty clean solution. Like I said, you get a really nice cut with this. There's no barbs, and yeah, it's just really nice and smooth. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this, and then we'll come back and go to the next step. And just to be safe, you might want to cover your exhaust. There's no shavings or anything going to come out, but you know, can't hurt. And in this case, you know, Sophie kind of said, hey, don't take the risk. Just grab my drying towel and throw it over the bike. So thanks, Sophie. Okay, that didn't take too long. Loosen that back up, pull that off, and there you go. So that's a very clean cut. And all we need to do now is take this bolt off here, and that'll remove this piece. So let me grab the tools we need for that. That is a T45 Torx bit and a 9/16 spanner. There we go. Voila. The next step is to remove this bolt. This is where the top of the bag guard is going to attach. So again, that's the T45. So I'm going to remove that bolt. The other thing is this spacer here, or bumper, or whatever it is. When I left this one on, after I attached the other side, it was too high. My seat wouldn't attach to the bike. I couldn't get the tongue up in place there. So my assumption is you're not going to be able to attach your seat either. So I am not going to put this piece back on. So we're going to put this piece with the original hardware in a Ziploc bag to save it in case I need to use it later. So let's attach the bag guard now at this point. And what I'm going to do is take this piece, this sleeve, and it's going to go right over this tubing. That's the first step to get that aligned, get that in. Okay, so that is on. Now, there's a couple of things you can do here. To get this rebolted on, you can loosen the hardware where this piece fits to the back of the bike. So you can move stuff around. I didn't have to do that. On the other side, I was able to kind of get it all into place fairly easily. So I'm going to take the hardware they supplied. I'm going to put that bolt down through here first. Just get that to where that lines up so I can get that bolted. And you just need to work it back and forth until you get that in place. So just work that back and forth until you get that in place, and you can get this bolt down here threaded. And then we'll take the nut. Once I get enough through here, we'll put the nut on the back. And then we're just going to snug this down a bit just to get it going. All right, that's not even like super snug in there. I've just got it to where it's holding this, this piece in place. Now we just want to get the top slid over the hole here. Okay, that's all lined up. Don't forget to use blue Loctite on these bolts, guys. I don't have the specs. I don't have the torque specs for this stuff, so I'm going to use blue Loctite and get it good and tight. And that's good and tight. So that's it. So we have the bag guard attached to the bike. The last step here for the install is to take the slider pucks and attach those. As I mentioned earlier, one of the pucks is longer than the other. I'm putting the shorter one up tight here, and that is going to take the 3/8 hex bit. Make sure you put blue Loctite on the bolt, and then we're just going to thread this in. I don't have the torque specs for this either. The kit from Santoro didn't come with any instructions, so I don't have the torque specs on this stuff. I'm just using blue Loctite and getting it good and tight there. So that's that one. So now we're going to put the longer puck down on the bottom, finish this off. And there we go. That's it. So now we just need to put the seat back on, side cover, and the bags. Let me go ahead and do that, and then we'll take the bike outside, do a walk around, and take a look at how the bag guards look on the bike. Special shout out to Sophie for making an appearance today. I know a lot of you have sent me messages asking what's going on with Sophie and Star. They're still here. They're actually on the bike. I never go anywhere without Sophie. We'll do a video later on to talk about how I've incorporated Sophie and Star into the bike and where they are right now. Let me tidy this up, we'll go outside.